friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to look at so many different kinds of adjectives. Do you know or do you remember what an adjective is? An adjective is a word that describes a noun or describes a pronoun. Did you know that a color or a number is always an adjective when it modifies a noun? Here is an example. There are 4 squares. 4 is an adjective that modifies squares. Another example is the fact that there are 8 planets. 8 modifies the word planets. Color words are usually adjectives, and they either describe a noun or they describe a pronoun. This van is red. Do you know what the adjective is? That's right, it's red because it describes the van. Let's take a look at adjectives that are feeling words. First, we're going to look at positive feeling adjectives. This soldier is brave. Brave is the adjective. Caring is an adjective. As you can see, this little baby is very caring. And calm is a word that describes this little boy. Cheerful is a fantastic adjective. It's so fun to be around people who are cheerful. And when you are determined, you get a lot of things done. That's a positive adjective. I bet this little girl is like a lot of you. She is energetic. Are you energetic? Or maybe you're like this lady and you're excited. Or maybe you feel fantastic. Fantastic is an adjective that describes the lady in this picture. You might also be joyful. This clown definitely looks joyful. I think he won the race. He is so proud. Relieved is definitely a positive adjective. Being relieved when something hard is over is a great feeling. And of course, it is so wonderful to be thankful. Now let's look at some adjectives that are more negative feeling words. Have you ever been angry? That doesn't feel good, does it? Or sometimes something could happen that makes you anxious. Or there might be times that you just feel awful, and that's no fun at all, is it? You might also be confused. It happens to all of us sometimes. And when you feel depressed, it's such a hard feeling to deal with. It's also no fun at all if you're frightened about something, is it? And we've probably all felt lonely at times. It's hard. And have you ever been sad? While I think it's hard sometimes when we're sad, I think it's important to know that it's okay to be sad. And if you've ever been worried, you know that's not a great feeling. Now, are you ready to learn about adjectives that describe the size of something or have something to do with time? Let's begin with adjectives that are related to time. Ancient is an adjective that means very, very, very old, like the pyramids in Egypt. Do you like to get up early? I know I do not like to get up early. I'm not a morning person. And that might mean that you're someone who likes to stay up late. Fast is definitely a great way to describe that man. It is a time adjective. Since fast is a time adjective, we know that the opposite word, slow, is also a time adjective. Are you ready for 2 more opposites? Old is an adjective, and so is young. It is the opposite of the time adjective old. It's young. Now that we've looked at time adjectives, let's take a look at adjectives related to size. You can't have a list of size adjectives without starting with the word big. And if you want to describe something that's really, really big, you use the word gigantic. And something that is large is usually between big and gigantic. Have you ever used the adjective long to describe size, like a long dress? And of course, if we listed long, we have to list short. It's also a size adjective. This is a funny word. Did you know that puny actually means small? But it's not always the nicest thing you could say about something. Mighty is actually kind of the opposite of puny, like a mighty tree grows big and strong. Are you ready to look at adjectives that describe character traits? They might be internal character traits or external character traits. Adorable is a great adjective to use to describe someone else or even yourself. If you like to do new and exciting things, you are adventurous. And have you ever met somebody who's just kind of annoying? You should still be kind to them though. Beautiful is a fantastic adjective. It can describe people or things. How many of you know someone who's clumsy? I know I do, and I'm a little clumsy myself. And if you're someone who is confident, that means that you have a lot of belief or self-assurance that you can do something. And I know that we all know somebody that is funny, or maybe your pet is funny. One of the best adjectives in the world is happy. It is great when we're happy. How many of you like to help other people? If you do, then you're someone who is helpful. And sometimes you might meet people that are a little odd, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It can be great. And do you know somebody who's silly, or are you or your pet silly? That's fun. Talented is a great adjective. You might be talented at sports, or art, or singing, or other things that make you special. Oh, but this one is not fun at all. It's really not great when we're sick, is it? And sometimes when you're sick, you get feverish. That means you have a fever and you're hot and sweaty. And I bet we all feel a little shy sometimes. Do you ever feel shy? And do you know what? We should all strive to be someone that can be called loving. Do you know what it means if someone calls you educated? It means that you've learned things. And I bet every one of you who's watching this video or listening is friendly, aren't you? And do you know what it means to say that you're intelligent? It means that you know things. Steady can mean that you have a good balance, or that you're a person who's always there for others. Now, let's look at words that we might use to describe things. Keep in mind, you might have used them before to describe a person or a place. Something that is bright means it shines with a lot of light. It can also mean smart. Beautiful is a fantastic adjective. It can describe people, weather, lots of things. So is shiny. Someone's face could be shiny, the sun could be shiny, even a ring can be shiny. Do you know what elegant means? It's kind of another word for very, very fancy. And I know that you know what dirty means. Maybe your shoe is dirty, or your room is dirty, or dishes. If your room is dirty, your grown-up might say, "Clean this room. I want it to be spotless." And do you know what you might call a day that doesn't have a single cloud, it's a clear day. Messy could mean the same as dirty, but it could also just be cluttered. Sunny days are some of my favorite days, but do you know what? I also love it when it snows. You know what's great to do on a day that's cloudy? Take a nap. It makes me sleepy. Sometimes a windy day can feel a little scary, but it's usually pretty safe. How many of you like to go outside and play on rainy days just like sunny days? Dry can mean lack of rain or just kind of sandy and hot. Wet can describe the weather or a person or a dog that plays in a puddle. And have you ever been out driving and seen a beautiful hilly meadow? That's awesome. Maybe instead of a hilly meadow, you saw a really flat farmland area. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, click the thumbs up and subscribe to come back to my classroom again. I'm glad you are here. I can't wait to see you again soon. Until next time, bye friends!